let's talk about a quiet and sometimes lonely feeling. The feeling of being mentally ahead, of seeing something before anyone else does.
You know that moment when a situation finally clicks, or you see exactly where things are headed? You sort of look around, expecting everyone else to be right there with you, but you're all alone in that realization. That's the feeling we're going to sit with for a little bit.
And this brings us to what you might call a familiar solitude. It's that strange sense of disconnection that can show up even when you're surrounded by people you really like and trust.
And the thing is, this isn't about having a fight or a big disagreement. It's much quieter than that. It's just a gap in timing between when you see something and when everyone else does. So what do we do with that feeling? Well, maybe the key is to just shift how we think about it, to reframe where that loneliness is actually coming from.
I think for a lot of us, our brain goes straight to the first thought. I must be lonely because I'm just different. It seems to make sense. But what if there's a deeper truth? What if it's not that you're different, but that you're just early?
Just let that idea sit for a moment. The feeling doesn't come from being separate. It comes from arriving at a place before the others have gotten there.
So let's lean into that idea of timing. There's actually a psychological concept that gets right at this feeling of being, well, out of sync.
It's called asynchronous cognition. But honestly, let's just forget the jargon. All it really means is that your mind gets to a truth before other people are ready for it, either emotionally or just, cognitively. Maybe you're in a meeting and you suddenly see the one big problem with a plan everyone else loves. It's not about being smarter. Your mind just got there a few steps ahead. That quiet moment right there is what we're talking about.
And what that creates is this social lag. It's that invisible space between your own personal aha moment and the moment it becomes something everyone gets. It's like you're temporarily in a completely different time zone from everyone else in the room.
And being in that space, well, it carries a certain weight, doesn't it? There's a real emotional cost to seeing things a little bit ahead of the curve.
And these are some of those quiet costs. You lose that shared timing, that moment of discovery you could have had together. There's that feeling of being unseen, because what you see isn't being reflected back at you yet. So you have to process these big new ideas alone at first. And you carry the weight of seeing a pattern before anyone else is ready to even look for it. This really gets at a core difference in how we connect. For most people, a big part of connection is that shared timing, getting excited about the same thing at the same time. But when you arrive early, that discovery happens on your own. You end up exploring that new territory by yourself, at least for a while.
So, where does that leave us? The point here isn't to try and fix this feeling. It's more about just acknowledging what this kind of journey is actually like.
And maybe this is the whole thing right here. Feeling ahead often just means you have to walk without company for a little bit. But that doesn't mean the walk has no value. It doesn't mean you have no value.
It's really just a simple acknowledgement. Some minds just arrive a little early to truths that others simply need more time to accept.